Look, I'm a politician. Politicians always believe in solving their issues through dialogue. And ever since my government was displaced through a conspiracy, I have always been willing to hold dialogue. I held dialogue with General Bajwa. Twice I met him. We had teams talking to him. And then since then again, to the new army chief, I have offered dialogue again. But, dialogue means it has to be two ways. So far, there's no response from the current army chief. Well, the PDM or all these political parties, they are, without the military establishment, they are nothing. I mean, electorally, if there are elections, they will be wiped out. Out of the 37 by-elections, my party swept 30 elections, despite the establishment supporting them. So really, they are just puppets. The real power is the military establishment. I'm doing politics not for myself, for my country. Because, I'm the only politician who the Almighty Allah had given everything. I mean, I had no reason to be in politics. I did politics because I believed that, we have to have rule of law in Pakistan. Rule of law gives you freedom. It gives you prosperity. The reason why countries go ahead of other countries because they have justice and rule of law. So my idea is not to seek vengeance from anyone. My idea is what 27 years ago I started my politics, to establish rule of law in Pakistan and genuine democracy. Genuine democracy only comes with rule of law. It's not my party's crisis, it's a crisis of the country right now. In Pakistan right now, we have the law of the jungle now. There is no rule of law left. The judiciary has completely been undermined. The media has been completely muzzled. Media is completely controlled. My political party, which is the largest party in Pakistan, has been, the worst sort of victimization is taking place. 10,000 of my workers are in jail, my senior leadership in jail. There are about over 150 cases on me. So what is happening is that in trying to dismantle my party, actually the whole democracy in Pakistan is being dismantled, which is the real worry. Because if you destroy the democracy of a country, you basically destroy its future. Yes, the military establishment, which means the army chief. Well, what happened was that the way I was arrested from the High Court of Islamabad, the way and it was the army, the commandos, the way they came in and beat everyone and picked me up and treated me like a terrorist, there was a reaction to that. But it was all pre-planned. They used that reaction to actually dismantle the whole party. Because in 48 hours, how can 10,000 workers be immediately jailed? I mean, how can there be such a crackdown unless it was pre-planned? So the whole thing was pre-planned. The way I was picked up, police could have picked me up. Or they could have just taken me. I mean, I'm a 70-year-old man. You don't need a commando action to pick him up. So it was all planned. The reaction, there was going to be a reaction, and they used the reaction then to completely go after the party and dismantle the party. In fact, in 1933, Adolf Hitler did this. The German parliament in Berlin was burnt. He used that as an excuse to completely go after his rivals, which were the communists, and he destroyed them. My experience of international relationship, especially when I was in power for 3.5 years, the international establishment always, their interests come before human rights. So they will use human rights to blame China for what's happening in Hong Kong or what's happening to the Uyghurs in China. They will use it against Russians, but they do not use it against countries that they have interest with or they are allied to. So I feel that maybe they think that the government, the current government, is supporting them in Ukraine. Maybe that's why, and maybe I wanted Pakistan to be neutral. I don't think Pakistan should be part of any conflict. So maybe that's why they're not saying anything about human rights. I have made no mistakes. I worked as a prime minister. I worked with the army chief. I navigated, my 3.5 years. It was the army chief who decided to stab me in the back. I never betrayed him. He betrayed me. He decided to have the current, who's the current prime minister. He decided he back him, and then he is the one who conspired to remove my government. I didn't do anything. Even after I was removed from power, I still tried to work with the army.